I'm writing to the group coordinator guy who happened to be in my home back in June, and run that one by you. To Frank, and I've got his last name in there, greetings. Thank you for the return of some of my property on the 30th of July. Respectfully, Frank, some of the property is damaged by the software installed on June 23rd, and I require the wrong to be made right. I've been harmed, and I have had a loss by your actions and inactions over this matter. Frank, I require the immediate restore of all my property forthwith. Thank you in advance.
Okay. So like I said, if anybody knows the answer, I mean, obviously I know, well, I don't know so much I know the answer to that, but I know exactly what I'm going to tell them, because I already said it earlier in the show.
What I had told Paul is to write to the man and let him know that I require my property to be restored forthwith, and for compensation for anything that's not restored forthwith. And wait to see what you get, and then write a statement, an itemized statement of the account of what's not been completely restored, and send them a bill.
Okay, let me make it even simpler. This is how my brain works, and hopefully you guys will start seeing how my brain works. And maybe you guys should put it into your own life. The way I do it is just me saying something specifically, and I make it into something general. If I had my car ran across his yard and hit his mailbox, his fence, his gate, and his lamppost, now this man is sending me a letter, and he sees I drive a car. See, that's a big, giveaway right there. I did it with my car. And he's writing me a letter. He's asking me to fix the damages. What's the other option he could use if I decide not to answer, or if I don't have the money to do it? What would be the answer? Somebody type it in. I use that word about 500 times this month. At least 27 times I said it today.
Warrant and debt?
No. Who's his indemnifier? Everybody who works for a living, everybody who's employed, everybody who has any kind of position in any form of government or Coca-Cola, everybody has got an indemnifier.
Oh.
You write to the man a very simple question like that. Say, I thank you for your, returning my yo-yo, my hula hoop, my pogo stick, but my snow cone was melted when I got my snow cone back. Do you have, through your employee, do you have an indemnifier, and is there a place where I could get a claim form through your indemnifier that I can just file a claim for damages so I could expedite the recovery of my property, or so I could be compensated? Did you just ask? If I ran over your mailbox and all this stuff, why don't you just come outside of your house and say, Carl, can I see your insurance card? That's what you would do. You would say, Carl, I'm sure you got insurance. Can we swap insurance cards? Can you show me your insurance card? Because I'm going to get to your indemnifier, and I'm going to call up your insurance company, and I'm going to say to them, is there a form I could file online, or is there a way you could fax me a form, or can you send one of your claims adjusters out here so he can assess the damage? Nowadays, they'll probably say, look, you just go right on our website, you click on a form, you fill out the form, you take a picture of the damage, and we might send a processor out there, or we might just tender us the bill for the damages, and we'll just send you a check. We'll just cut you a check. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you see where you got half the letter written, but the last half would just be something simple, saying, I'm not asking you directly to compensate me, but I'm sure you're indemnified, and do you know if your indemnifier has any simple claim form online that I could submit the claim for the damages through your insurance, whoever your indemnifier is? I would say insurance. I say indemnifier. That covers whether it's an escrow account, a bond, or insurance. It covers everything just by saying indemnifier. It could be his mama. His mama could be his indemnifier. So it covers every clowns has a bond. And when I heard this stuff years ago, man, when I get on these shows and I just destroy these people. I said, did you just tell this guy about a hazard bond? And they were like, yeah. I said, when you put an adjective in something, it's not general, it's more specific now. Do you understand? Do you literally know what a hazard bond is? And the people would, these gurus would say something. I was like, sir, that's what you use like explosive, like nitroglycerin right on the side of a highway, and you explode something, and you blow everybody's, radio. You blow out the speakers. I said, sir, hazard bonds is for like explosives. It literally means something that's hazardous. So you check his opera for a hazard. So judge, and I saw that ridiculous thing come across my desk. I don't know if I'd still be laughing. There's especially people out there reading stupid stuff, attorneys who are just filling the free man movement with ridiculous nonsense, and you guys aren't back-checking any of this stuff and saying, who put this out? Oh, this really cool free man guy. You know, he's a real patriot. He's a real good guy. Okay, where is he getting his information from? Gee, I don't know. Okay, because let's say Karl Lentz. This stuff doesn't just manifest itself into my brain because I'm some sort of super genius. No, I have to go and I have to find the information. And when I find the information, I want to say, wait a second, where did that source come from? Where did that source come from? Where did that source come from? So like when I was studying the dictionaries, and I got, I don't know how many dictionaries I'd say. I'd say at least 12 and no more than 17 that I actually get the words from. So when I actually look to research, what does the Supreme Court use as its definitive resource book for words, the terms and definitions of words? And like I said, when they said it was Noah Webster's 1828, obviously I looked at 1828 Noah Webster's, and I said, those words are kind of okay, but they're kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of watered down. I mean, they're kind of not like concise like they used to be. And so then I actually went to the London's Time Reviews of 1829. And I tried to see what was the book review, what was the general consensus of the people who actually read books for a living or read reference manuals for a living, and what did they actually think of Webster's dictionary. And they said this was the most ridiculous definitions of the English language. This guy took such liberties. You know, he's like destroying what we created over 1,100 years with this ridiculous version of what he believes these words mean. Where does he come up with his beliefs that this is what this word means now, that he's just totally rewriting the language dictionary, language single-handedly? You know, it was just ridiculous that the reviews, I mean, he didn't get one damn decent review. So like I said, when you guys are reading something, like say you're reading the Constitution or something like that, okay, great. Did you guys 1776, the Declaration of Independence, okay, Constitution 1781, 83, back then, are you reading like 84, 85's like reviews, like what people thought, like in the editorial section, or what did the actual professionals who actually did this stuff for a living, did you actually read their opinions of what this Constitution was? Did you actually look at the negative or the positive comments of what was being issued into the world? You know, just because somebody makes something, car, like a Ford automobile, like, oh, the Model T, that was the best car ever. Oh, really? And how about we read the Motor Week or car and driver review of the Model T Ford of 1904 and 1905. And they say it was the biggest piece of crap. The thing would explode. You run it 3 miles down the street, the damn engine would fall out the rear. And oh, wow. So the Model T really wasn't a great car. No, like I said, you got to, instead of just taking somebody's word on it, the Model T was the number one car of the world and whatever. I'm just throwing it out as an example. They might have great reviews. Might could have said it's the best damn thing since sliced white bread. But just because you guys are reading the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, are you actually, like I said, that's how I found out about the Constitution so much, is because I'm trying to remember, they had like a Whig party and a Federalist party, and half of them were bashing the Constitution, and the other half was saying it was a wonderful document. And like the Patrick Henry people was like, this is horrendous, this is insane, this would be creating a tyranny on future generations. So obviously, we weren't promoted that in school. His opinion and his political party's opinion was not promoted through our school. When I was growing up, the Constitution was the most glorious document that ever happened on planet Earth. But why was half the delegates who were there at the time said this is the most insane, insidious trickery, deception to the American people, and we're not going to have any part of this. So why didn't people read the cons and the pros of the Constitution? Because there's so many people who say, well, the Constitution is, and we got to live by the Constitution. Oh, really? Did you read what Patrick Henry had to say about it? Well, no. The guy who started basically a revolution by saying, give me liberty or give me death. The guy, like the first guy who stood up by himself and spit in the king's face, that guy. Did you ask him what he thought of the Constitution after it was all said and done, the war and the battle and the treaties? Did you see what his opinion was of the new government? No. Why not? Well, the Constitution, man, that's the law of the land, man. That's ultimate, man. That's the bet. That's really. Well, why don't you read it, how the people who thought it was a pile of crap? And I'm not talking about Barack Obama. I'm talking about people who actually, started this nation. Why don't you find out their opinions, whether it's good or bad? And like I said, it was funny. Gus will tell you. Gus, when you go on eBay and you go to buy something, right?
Yeah.
Do you look when you go to the guys who you're buying from, and it says 99.8%? You go right to the negatives, or you go right to the positives?
I go to the negatives.
You go right to the F negatives, just like me, man. I want to know who this 0.2% is. I want to know what this 0.2% said. Is it the 0.2% on the product that I'm buying, or is it something totally irrelevant? Like, the rubber erasers didn't come for 16 weeks. And the other negative was, the pencils that he was selling broke within, 3 minutes of buying. I was like, okay, I'm not buying pencils, this guy rubber eraser, I'm buying a hard drive. But the first thing you go for is you look for the negative comments. That only makes sense. Why would you want to read the 10,816 wonderful comments the guy had? You want to go for that 1 or 2 negatives that he had over the last 6 months or a year, Can
I say something, Carl?
So I don't care how many people say that the Constitution is the greatest document on planet Earth, or Noah Webster's 1828 is the best dictionary of all time. I'm going to take a look for negative reviews and find out why. These 2 people out of a billion say that this is a pile of crap. Well, who wanted to ask me a question?
Donald.
Oh, how you doing, Donald? Yeah.
Right. And indemnify. If the man is frank, yep, I've done wrong, here's my insurance details. The insurance people say, no, we're going to just pay you $1, even though the damages are $10.
Like I said, let's say you, the simple thing like that, let's put it with a car, an automobile, a motor vehicle, right? An engine-propelled, conveyance device, whatever, car, truck, Say the insurance company says to you, no, for the mailbox, we're only going to give you $1. What would you do next if the insurance company says we're only going to give you $1?
I would open up a court.
There you go.
And drag the CEO into my court.
Well, you'd obviously go after the driver and say, you know what, his insurance company sucks, so I'm going to have to actually hold the man who actually did it liable. Now, if the indemnifier says, that's all we're going to give you, okay, well, fine. The indemnifier, he bought a lousy policy. He bought a policy from an indemnifier who says, look, you pay me $1,000 a year for insurance, but when you've got to make a claim, I'm only going to pay you out, 50 cents, and you don't like it, you know what? Too bad. What are you going to do? So like I said, you're going to have to go after the man then. If an indemnifier won't cover it, fine. Then you got to go after the man.
The man has been so...
if I ran over his mailbox, his gate, his fence, and everything else, if my insurance company says, no, you know what, we're not going to pay on Karl Lentz, that he's done too many this year, and no, we're not going to pay on it. If you don't like it, go sue Karl. And then I'd have to go sue my insurance company for not, covering me, because I thought I had a policy that covered everything. So then you'd have to just flip it and go after the man.
Right.
First you find out if they're indemnified, obviously.
Yes, because the man says, look, here we are, here's my indemnity, right, here's the insurance people, right, go after them. And the guy says, no, only $1. And the insurance people say, right, you go after the man who we insured.
Right, they'll say, well, we're going to give you $1 for that mailbox. And you say, well, okay, well, the guy must have bought some lousy insurance. His insurance company is only going to pay $1 on a $100 mailbox. Oh, well, then I'm going to have to go after the man for the other $99.
Right.
And see, a lot of states, just like I said, there's some guy named Bill Thornton out there, and he didn't know how to solve this little ridiculous riddle puzzle, like 10 years ago when he started, 7 years ago, whenever he started his YouTube thing. I seen his little dilemma having this problem with an insurance company. Somebody hit some man who was riding a bicycle, and the man was California only required drivers to carry $10,000 for liability. So the man got the $10,000 check from the hospital for the hospital bill from the insurance company, but never got the $100,000 worth of bills he still had outstanding paid for. And the man tried to turn around and I don't remember what Bill said, he was trying to sue the insurance company or sue the man and the insurance company, but every time they went to court, the judge just kept throwing it out, saying, no, the law requires him to do this. He lived within full compliance with the law. And poor Bill Thornton was going around forever, never getting anywhere with it. So it's funny watching these people. It's nice that he talks about it, and it's nice that he shows the people the frustration he has with the courts, but he can never get a damn thing moved to the freaking court. He never get a judgment. And it would have been so simple if he just opened his own damn court. But he didn't. He keeps working. And I hate that when people compare me to Bill Thornton. Bill Thornton does the legal process. He does English, what you'd say English common law. But English common law it was for the members of the legal society. It was the English common law, the English legal society common law. It wasn't the common law of the people of England. It was English common law. So they created certain procedures. You had to do certain things a certain way. You had to do demurras, surrebuttas. You had to do all kinds of ridiculous implevins. You had to do all kinds of ridiculous steps by step by step by step. That you had to be incredibly intelligent. You had to be incredibly in tune with the legal society and the legal proceeding. A normal bloke from England couldn't walk in and start talking about surrebuttas. You couldn't talk about doing a replevins. You couldn't do a writ of, writ of probation. He couldn't. A common man would say, "What the hell are you bloody going on about? He squished my chicken with his donkey. That's all I freaking know." That's the common law. It's like, and he owes me, $6. That's common law. The stuff that Billy's doing is a glorified form of legal proceeding. So when he tries to say it's English common law, it's not common law. It's an actual set of hard, rigid rules. And if you're off by one step, just like in the legal society, if you're off by one rule, just by a smidgen, it all gets thrown out. And a common man could say, okay, so I said it was a chicken. Okay, it was a hen. Okay, fine. It wasn't a chicken. It was a hen. The people would say, okay, honestly, what the hell's the difference? Chicken, hen, who knows what the hell the difference is? But if you followed strict legal procedure or you followed strict English common law, your whole case would be thrown out. Because, no, it's literally you have to follow this step, and you missed this step, and since you had a misstep, the whole damn thing gets thrown out. So it's a ridiculous set of rules, and if you try to know the rules, it's so funny, then you got to always go up to a judge or a referee kind of guy and he gets thrown out saying, nope, I'm going to have to say you made a violation of that rule. Nope, you did not follow it completely in accordance to that rule. You missed that step, so nope, I'm going to have to dismiss it and come back and try it again, sonny boy. And it's the same thing that happened with me in England with Bali. We asked Farmer Charlie, can he come and testify? He said, yeah, sure. And Farmer Charlie was supposed to give him the other side 30 days notice, I believe. So obviously we only gave my 20-day notice. I was only there for 25 days. And the other side obviously said, well, we're not, this court is in non-compliance with Rule 17B. And the Crown has the right to know the witnesses who are going to be in attendance are going to testify 30 days prior to the hearing of the trial. So their witness is not going to be allowed to testify at this time. So the judge said, no, overruled. You know what? And then the poor prosecutor said, what? No, it's Your Honor. This, and he picked up the book and literally, this is what the rule says. So we have to be in full compliance with the letter of the law. And the judge said, I'm going to overrule and I'm going to allow their witness to testify. And man, that prosecuting attorney, he went bananas, man. He flipped his wig. He started shaking the bench. I mean, spit was coming out of his mouth. He was furious. He just started. The first time he was adamant. The second time he was mad. And the third time he just lost his cookies. He says, why do we wear these stupid wigs? Who cares about this stupid book? And through the book, he said, we'll just make this shit up as we go along. He didn't say shit. He says, we'll just make it up as we go along. He says, who cares about, 900 years of legal proceedings? Who cares about the stupid rules? We're just going to decide today because we got nothing better to do, and we're just going to rewrite the legal. We're just going to write all the rules over today. We're just going to do it because you feel like it, Judge, because you feel like not applying, but no, you just feel like it. You're not using any precedent or case law. You just say you're just going to totally disregard the fact that this is how we've been abiding by the rules for all these years, and you're just going to take the whole system and throw it down a crapper because you feel like it. And the judge said, yes, I feel like it, and it's overruled, and their witness will take the stand. And I was trying to keep from laughing. I was like, wow, what a performance from this prosecutor. This guy is fantastic. And I was like, that's kind of like me. It's like I'd get that aggressive. So I said, that's good. And then that's when the judge said to us, they said, do you want me to place your witness on a stand? And that's when Bolly said, yes. And I screamed, no. I said, I want no man. I said, God will provide all. We are not going to be indebted to you, sir. You will either abide by and do your job, do your duty, place the witness on a stand, or recuse yourself. I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to place the witness on a stand. I will do your job. And the judge said to the witness, take the stand. But that was the whole sequence of following the rules, and why, like I said, when you do this Bill Thornton stuff and you compare it to mine, it's insane. It is completely opposite of my stuff. It is not even close. It is no similarity in whatsoever. Nothing. So, like I said, there's some poor guy from West Virginia keeps saying that. Well, I learned a lot from Bill Thornton. I call it. Well, if you learn from Bill Thornton, you better learn the complete opposite from me. It's because they're not alike. There's nothing alike. Like I said, I remember Bill Thornton saying something about the judge let me be master of the court. So I went down and I to the court clerk's office, and I got a notary, and I got my fancy sealing machine that I bought at Kinko's or Best Buy's, at like $1,000 machine. And I put this really cool gold seal on it because now I opened up a court of record because it has a seal, and you could get one in Boss too, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, holy shit, listen to this guy. So you're going to be into somebody else's court as a master of the court. Really? Why don't you just open up your own court and be man and just appear as man and just have another man appear? And just why don't you just go down in court, man on man, and see who prevails, and stop worrying about all these silly rules and say, oh, I got a court master. Oh, I'm the court master of the court now. Oh, and I get to use my seal, and I get to get 3 notary signatures and 5 maids of milking and 7 swans of swimming. You know, and I got, oh, geez, dude, would you stop worrying about all these freaking rules? And would you just say, hey, look, that man's done me wrong. I require compensation or return the bloody thing. That's it. None of those other nonsense. The judge tries to say anything else, he say, hey, are you a party to this, judge? No, do you want to be a party to this? Yeah, no, you don't. You know what? You better sit back, step down, and let this man say whether or not he done me wrong. That's all I want to hear out of this man's mouth. Is he going to return it, or is he going to compensate? I don't want to hear any damn thing else from anybody else in this damn courtroom. Everybody can be held in contempt of court. This is my court. And these are the rules. Very simple, basic rules, common law rules. I come in and I made a claim. He done wrong? Return or compensate. Now, what's your word, sir? Did you do wrong? Are you going to return it or are you going to compensate me? Well, no, I'm not going to return it. Well, then you're going to compensate. Oh, well, I'm not. Oh, you're not going to compensate. Oh, so you just think you're going to steal from your fellow man and you're not going to compensate. Well, I need a ruling from the court. Jury, what do you say? Is my case have merit, or should my case be discharged? And let the jury determine. No, you got a good point there, man. There you go. My trial lasted, what, 17 seconds? Yeah, we're done. It's that fast. That's simple. Let the jury hear it. Say, here, he took this from me. He will not return it. He will not compensate it. Now, is it the belief amongst us as a people that one man can walk off with another man's, that which is of another man's, without either returning it upon demand or upon the wish of the other man or compensation? He took my bone and walked away with it. Does he not have to return it, or does he not have to compensate? Yes or no? Well, he said he was a policeman. I didn't ask him that. We're not in a policeman court. That's the same thing the judge said, you know, the preliminary hearing. This man in the United States who's over here from the States, he knows your officers can't appear. And regardless, whoever the fuck they think they are, he summons him before a queen. Yeah, he summons him to the people's court. Doesn't matter damn what the guy's status was. It doesn't matter what his uniform was. It doesn't effing matter. He's saying he's done wrong. And it don't matter what the hell Adolf Hitler said in that order. It doesn't matter. This man has done wrong. He's caused harm to his fellow man. I don't give a damn what Adolf Hitler's order said for him to carry out. This is Nuremberg, and he's going to hang. So, do you think this man from the United States doesn't know the rules of Queen's Bench? You don't think he understands the rules of taking it to the people? Yeah, I think he does. So, like I said, I hope that helped you with some easy answers. I hope that kind of mellows out your minds a little bit. Yeah.
You remember we've got this one bad man who has an attorney, right?
Yeah, you're going to write to Mr. Badman attorney.
Well, this is what I've written right now. It sounds a bit long, but it says, do you know and represent the man, and we'll call him Ben. The man Ben has my property. The property which is mine belongs to I. Ben did fail to perform legal service as he agreed. I require the immediate restore of my property and compensation for loss and harm. And respectfully, I require a response of you, this is writing to his attorney, of course, within 7 days by certified mail.
Yeah. Well, when I actually physically see that letter, it's a lot easier for me to tighten it up, but it's pretty damn close. but I know there's some things I'm definitely going to take out.
Okay.
Because read it again, and I'll tell you one thing I'm definitely going to take out.
The word legal service?
I'm going to modify that.
Okay.
That's too specific. It's something about belonging to you, like you surrendered it.
Okay.
You surrendered it, and you were seeking fair and just compensation, which you have not yet received.